Welcome to Transfer Live. I'm Garland, and today we're going to talk about caring for the victims of divorce. Imagine this, a life shattered by divorce. You know, the thing is, a life can just break into pieces when it's gone through a family that's split. We come to families and we think to ourselves, okay, I've got a certain expectation. We get that expectation from TV, from media, from comparing ourselves with other families. Everyone comes with an expectation, but when they're shattered, what do we do with it then? Certainly the family unit was created to take God's characteristics in our daily lives and bring those together. God's characteristics of unconditional love, of security, of protection. But the shattered pieces, they show aspects of rejection, of loneliness, and of a lot of hurt. Right then, right at that prime moment, Satan says, I want to gather these pieces up, and the accuser says, here, let me show you how to handle this. And so the accuser says, hey, try a counterfeit to mask the pain. Or the accuser says, be the master of ignoring the situation, just pretend it never happened. Or the accuser says, hey, pick up yourself by your bootstraps, be a survivor. Or the accuser can even say to a youth leader, hey, you get involved in this shattered life, but the kid will become codependent upon you. See, there's a little bit of truth in everything, all of those. But what happens is the solution just leaves shattered lives still shattered. So what's the answer? I think we have to ask ourselves at this point, have I become callous to this idea of divorce? Divorce has almost become vogue. It's kind of trendy, like everybody's getting a divorce, and there's tons of kids who come from families of divorce. Are we alert to when a kid is hurting because they've come through a divorce or they're going through a divorce? Are we able to identify, hey, that kid is comparing himself to that kid because that kid made it through the divorce, so this kid thinks, okay, I can make it okay through a divorce also. Do we really understand what is threatening their belief system when they've gone through divorce? So the bottom line is we're going to give you 3 ideas. Number 1, when a kid is going through divorce, a child or a teen, you've got to learn to ask the right questions. What's in their heart? You're trying to find it out. So you've got to ask if you want to be a help. You might say, hey, I'm not gonna upset this apple cart. The kid seems to be fine. Can I ask you who would be fine when their parents have gone through a divorce? Ask the right questions. How do you do it? You could start it as easy as this when you're in this arena. You say to a kid, hey, so you talk a lot about your dad, but you don't talk very much about your mom. Does your mom live at home? Bring it up and ask the right questions. Ask, if their parent isn't at home, how long has that been? And how much hurt happened when your folks split? Sometimes you know what I do? I just whisper to God when I'm talking to somebody and say, God, help me know what the right question is to ask to this person that I'm trying to help. So you ask the right questions, you discern their behavior. Their behavior is an indicator. Discern the ones that are loud, the ones that are seeking attention, the ones that are dating just to have somebody. That's an indicator of somebody hurting. Then go personal and specific with them. Again, after you see an indicator, turn back around, ask the right questions. Do you see this in your life? I'm wondering if you notice that you're doing this, and bring it around to help minister to them. Often, a kid will say, hey, I don't even understand that the way I'm acting is kind of all blending with my thoughts and behaviors. They haven't separated that. They don't realize that. They need somebody to come alongside and help them identify that. They have this undercurrent of reasoning within them. They're purposely trying to fill a void. You've got to discern that and help them by asking the right questions and discerning their behavior. Where's a kid going to find what the value of marriage is? From Facebook? From the Disney Channel? No, we've got to show them. And the bottom line is, as a youth leader, you're not supplementing the family. You are just coming alongside to help add value to a kid who's gone through a very difficult time. So do you know how to do that? A lot of times value has just been depleted when a kid has gone through divorce, or maybe even at the best confused. So you speak it, you write it, you celebrate it, and you identify it. What do I mean by that? You bring value onto a kid by speaking it. Guys, this might be tough, but you just got to say, I value you. Sometimes write it on a Facebook message, I value you. Write it in a note, send it to them. It can be as easy as you writing a note on a candy bar and leaving it in the office at school. Or ladies, how about writing a note on a balloon and sticking it on a mailbox? Learn also how to celebrate moments where the kid has spiritually grown. Celebrate those times. That just shows that you're valuing them. If they've conquered for 100 days over a sin, value them and say, I counted, it's 100 days, let me take you out to eat. So you go ahead and identify things that are important to them. This again, things that like their love language, this maximizes your ability to show them that you really do value them. When you think about valuing somebody, it comes with commitment. But the minute we say the word commitment, everybody spazzes out, because truth is they're thinking lifetime commitment. Truth is we're talking about present day commitment, walking them through this avenue, this area of divorce that they're struggling with, an area where it's very difficult for them to really trust. So we bring value to another person's life presently because we know this. We know that hurting people hurt people. And the truth is, they're going to be fighting. Sometimes they're going to be duking it out with you. Be a bulldog. Be a bulldog and hang in there. It shows that you value them. So the three things are, ask the right questions. Help them realize, hey, there might be bitterness in their lives. The easiest way to find that out, give them a 3x5 card and say, hey, write out your feelings, even your feelings about your parents' divorce. Sometimes it's easier to write it than it is to say it. Walk them through, ask them questions about whether or not they've put forgiveness over this situation. Forgiveness is a thing that has to be done over and over again. So help them walk through that. Ask them if they have. Go ahead and ask them, do they ever feel like they're in the middle between their parents? Because they've got to go through this and respect both their mom and dad. So you go ahead and you figure out the discerning behavior, you discern their behavior, you go ahead, you ask the right questions, you value them. They've got a stigma on their life. And they might be thinking, I'm never going to have a healthy family. They've just got this concept, but you take them to Ephesians 1, BibleGateway.com. You can print it off, highlight who they are in Jesus Christ, help them see how much He values them. Bottom line is, you get to walk next to kids who come from divorced homes. It's an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing because we got a big job ahead of us. Let me just say this one more thing. Online, you can go on our online store. We have this Pressure Point series, 4 parts. There's one on forgiveness. There's one on divorce. It'll just be another tool to help you deal with this situation. Hey, thanks so much.